judge is highly conflicted. He's a corrupt judge.
Have you ever heard the term gaslighting?
It's time to wrap this case up, throw it out. If this judge wants any credibility back, that's what he should do. There should have been a directed verdict. There should have been a mistrial.
Well, now you're living it.
The worst president in the history of our country who is cognitively impaired.
Gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse in which the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in their victim's mind. It's also denying that an event took place, even if there's evidence to prove it.
There was no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie. Watching the TV footage of those who entered the Capitol and walked through Statuary Hall showed people in an orderly fashion staying between the stanchions and ropes taking videos and pictures. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
Lying and contradicting what the victim knows to be true, making the victim feel like they're crazy or overreacting, making the victim doubt their memory and perception. That's gaslighting. And it's what Trump does every day.
Do you plan to testify?
Yeah, I would testify, absolutely.
And Trump is the master. Donnie Indictable lied in a deposition in his rape trial, but he couldn't help but reveal the depths of his real depravity when the convicted rapist then said he couldn't have raped Jean Carroll because she wasn't his type.
You're a disgrace, but she's accusing me, and so are you, of rape, and it never took place. And I will tell you, I made that statement, and I said, well, it's politically incorrect. She's not my type.
You see, he only rapes attractive women.
I have absolutely no idea who this woman is.
Does this all sound familiar?
And when you try to tell the truth, they call you names. They call you a clown. They call you a racist. They come after you. But it doesn't take away from the fundamental lie they told in the first place. And the big lie here is that President Trump did something wrong. We know that's not the case.
That's Rich. That's Jim, I'll wrestle your teenage boy in the basement, Jordan, lying about the charges against Biden. Charges that were fed to him and Comer by Putin. And they knew it. They knew it was a lie, but they lied anyway. They can't stop lying because if they do, it all crumbles on top of them.
With all due respect, the Republicans need better investigators because they've got a lot of circumstantial evidence, but they have not shown that Joe Biden profited personally,
they're doing
or
great.
that he broke any rules.
Trump and his little doppelgangers learned to lie from the pros. Joseph Goebbels said, if you tell a lie enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. And that's Trump's plan.
I'm an innocent man, Trump said. I've been persecuted by someone running for office.
No matter how powerful you are, no matter how rich you are, that no one is above the law.
All right, so Trump had sex with a porn star, paid her 130 grand to shut up because it would affect his chances of being elected. That was proven in court. If she was lying, why did Trump want to sue her for violating her NDA? You can't make this up. The prosecution's case is so strong, they even admitted that Cohen has damaged merchandise. But his stories were all backed up by a voluminous amount of evidence. Receipts, canceled checks, texts, and emails. And of course, Trump will deny any and all truths because why stop now?
I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
The problem here is the laziness and stupidity of Americans.
I believe in hate speech. When you have hate for somebody, I am 100% into speech.
The other day, Donald Trump said on his first day he's going to be a dictator for a day.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
You see, the average American can tell you who the Kardashians are dating, but not who their congressman is. And that opened the door for this syphilitic butt waffle to make everything up and dare you to prove it's not true. And while you were proving the first lie, he lies about something else, and so on and so on. And the Republican Party saw it working, so they adapted.
Lying Ted.
The man is utterly amoral. This man is a pathological liar.
I'm proud to have worked hand in hand with President Trump.
When Trump posted the video referring to the Third Reich, he left it up until CNN broke the story. Trump pretended he knew nothing, but he retweeted it. Of course he knew. So we asked other Republicans what they thought of Trump embracing Nazis.
I do want to get your reaction to something that former President Trump said overnight. He was in New Hampshire. He was talking about the need to keep immigrants out of this country. Here's what he said. I'll get your response.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and prisons all over the world, not just in South America, not just the 3 or 4 countries that we think about, but all over the world. They're coming into our country from Africa, from Asia, all over the world.
The Biden campaign has accused former President Trump of, quote, parroting Adolf Hitler. What is your reaction? Are the president's comments representative of how you?
And Lindsey Graham couldn't answer the question, so he gaslighted.
To the Biden administration, you're talking about Donald Trump's language, as you said on the sidelines, and allowed the country to be invaded. 172 people on the terrorist watch list have come on your watch. Fentanyl is killing more Americans.
Now, you should know a couple lies Republicans are saying about the border. There's no such thing as a terror watch list. It doesn't exist. Republicans make it up. The CIA watch all terrorists. There is no Casey Kasem top 100 terrorists. And as far as the 172 terrorists on the watch list, we know this number because that's the number of people we caught. The other number that Trump lied about was that the Senate border bill he and Mike Johnson killed would allow 5,000 migrants a week to come across the border.
Why were you against the House, against the Senate border deal, the bipartisan border?
Well, they allow 5,000 people a week.
Oh, bullshit.
Number one, that, but it also made it much better for the opposing side.
No, Republican Senator James Lankford's bill said if there were more than 5,000 encounters at the border, which includes people just asking for asylum, we'd shut the border down until we can control the flow. Ironically, the only truth regarding the border was Trump admitting he'd kill the border bill because it would be good for the Democrats.
It also made it much better for the opposing side.
I don't have time to chronicle all of Trump's lies. The Washington Post counts 30,000 of them, so here's a highlight reel. Trump lied about Obama's birth certificate.
People are trying to figure out why isn't he giving his birth certificate.
I have a birth certificate from Slovenia. Do you want to see President Obama birth certificate?
A racist lie to assuage his redneck base.
Russia, if you're listening.
He lied about Russia.
He just said it's not Russia.
2020, the mark was Rudy Giuliani.
I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails.
Trump has a long history with Putin and Russian banks, which are Putin's banks.
Here's how Dodson remembers the conversation.
I said to Eric, well, you're the head of his golf services development company. Who's funding all this? I remember very clearly what he said. He said, no, we don't need American banks. We have all the funding we need out of Russia.
Russia hacked the DNC and created social media posts helping Trump.
I don't see any reason why it would be.
To get you elected, you twit. And of course, as everyone should know, Putin assisted in the latest Biden impeachment efforts.
2024, it looks like it's Congressman Jim Jordan and James Comer. Twice now, Republicans have become witting or unwitting useful idiots.
Trump got the vaccine himself, but lied about COVID, pushing ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, leading to the deaths of 700,000 more people who didn't have to die.
I wanted to always play it down.
He lied about Hillary and Biden, calling them criminals, but producing zero evidence.
I'm very rich. I don't need anybody's money.
He lies about his wealth, his health, his family. Jared and Ivanka both received billions from the Chinese and Saudis while he was in office. That's Janet Yellen, who, while head of the Fed under Trump, expressed frustration regarding Trump's ignorance of macroeconomics. When he didn't understand something, he just made it up. Evidenced by Trump's characterization of inflation, which was caused by the trillions in support during the pandemic, which included the millions in PPP loans Republicans received that Trump later forgave. Dairy Queen, for example, never paid back the $175,000 she received. The real reason for inflation is the strength of the economy and the U.S. businesses who won't lower prices, although Target, McDonald's, and Walmart are all dropping prices as demand wanes. By the way, that's macroeconomics. And of course, the two big lies, which have led to more than 65 indictments. He stole classified documents and when caught, told employees to burn them. And of course, this.
Trial by combat.
Trump is a blight, a flabby, pustulant skin tag who is strangling our nation as his lies take root in America's red states. I can't tell you why they believe them any more than I can explain how this putz keeps his job.
Ted Cruz has been hated by everyone, every place he's ever been.
Gaslighting is a $2 word for lying your ass off and not caring what it does to your country. But let's keep it simple and call it what it is. The Republicans.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Am I wrong?
Damn right.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I'm Chip Franklin.